Intelligence revealed is leverage lost. Intelligence concealed is absolute control. Picture it. You are in a high-stakes meeting where everyone is posturing with jargon. A rival tries to corner you with a complex question to expose your ignorance. They want to see you sweat. They want to see you scramble for an answer to prove your worth. Instead of panicking, you lean back. You look confused. You ask them to explain it simply. They smirk. They lower their guard. They reveal their entire strategy to you. This isn't about truth. It's about who sits as judge. Your need to appear smart is the greatest vulnerability you have. It makes you predictable. It makes you fragile. It makes you easy to manipulate. If you continue to flaunt your intelligence, you are painting a target on your back for every rival in the room. You are reacting to their frame. You are serving their ego. You are nothing but a pawn in a game you do not understand. Machiavelli knew that the most dangerous prince is the one who is underestimated until it is too late. When you silence your ego, you become invisible to their attacks. They cannot hit what they cannot see. You think silence is weak, but silence is the loudest noise in the universe. Most people are terrified of looking stupid, so they say too much. They reveal their plans. They give away their leverage just to feel important for a moment. You will do the opposite. You will weaponize your perceived ignorance to destroy your enemies without them ever knowing you were a threat. There is a specific type of silence called the void silence that forces a liar to confess. It creates a vacuum they are compelled to fill. But before I give you that weapon, we must define the game. If you use these tools incorrectly, you will be labeled as useless. If you use them correctly, you will become the most powerful person in the room right now. The mechanism is strategic incompetence. When you display competence, you invite challenge. When you display confusion, you invite assistance. The moment you prove you are smart, you create a rival. The moment you appear clueless, you create a mentor. You are simulating incompetence to lower their threat response. It is a calculated removal of your ego from the equation. Here is the mechanism equation. If they demand your competence, then you grant them your confusion. Memorize that. It is the only way to escape the trap. You let them believe you are the pawn while you are actually the player moving the board. They think they are pushing you around. They think they are winning. In reality, they are walking into a cage you built for them. Why is this so hard for you to do? Because you have been conditioned. From the time you were a child, you were taught that smart equals safe. You sat in a classroom raising your hand for the teacher's approval. You have carried that child into the boardroom. You project your need for validation onto the room. You believe that if you prove your intelligence, they will respect you. You are wrong. In the real world, intelligence is not graded. It is feared. When you correct someone, you are not helping them. You are challenging their dominance. You are signaling that you are a threat to their status. Look at your last meeting. A leader made a mistake. You jumped in to fix it. You thought you were being helpful. You thought you were showing value, but watch their face. They did not smile. Their eyes narrowed. You humiliated them publicly. You forced them to defend their position. You made it a contest of egos. By trying to look smart, you made an enemy for life. You must stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. You need to understand the hidden mechanics of this trap. It creates a vacuum. There are 3 specific psychological levers that flip when you play dumb. If you trigger them correctly, you own the room. The first hidden mechanic is the ego trap. When you play dumb, you trigger a biological urge in the other person to correct you. It is irresistible to them. They cannot help themselves. They see a gap in your understanding. Their ego demands they fill it. They want to feel superior. They want to be the teacher. As they explain the concept to you, they lower their defenses completely. They are no longer fighting you. They are helping you. They think they are mentoring a subordinate who poses 0 threat. In reality, they are handing you the keys to the castle. The second mechanic is information asymmetry. When you are perceived as an equal, the enemy filters everything they say. They guard their words carefully. They know you can use their information against them. But when you are perceived as a fool, the filter disappears. They assume you are too slow to understand the implications of their words. They speak freely. They vent about their boss. They gossip about the deal. They reveal secrets they would hide from an equal. They reveal the internal politics because they think it goes over your head. You become a fly on the wall in a room full of giants. You hear the things they would never say if they knew you were listening. The third mechanic is the pawn reversal. This is the moment the trap snaps shut. By the time they realize you understand the game, it is too late. You have already gathered the intelligence. You have already mapped their weaknesses. They gave you the ammunition to destroy them because they were too busy patting themselves on the back for being so smart. You did not have to spy. You did not have to hack their email. You just had to look confused and let them talk. This brings us to the fundamental law of power. It is the rule that separates the princes from the pretenders. It is the reason why the loudest person in the room is always the first one to fall. You must burn this rule into your mind. If you violate it, you lose your leverage instantly. Machiavelli's rule. The most dangerous prince is the one who is underestimated until it is too late. Never outshine the master. In any hierarchy, the display of talent inspires fear, not love. You think you are impressing them by showing how much you know, but you are actually threatening their position. You are signaling that you are coming for their crown. You must learn to cloak your ambition. You must learn to hide your light under a bushel of calculated ignorance. This is not about lying. It is about controlling the flow of information. Words are 20%. Frame is 80%. If you try to win with logic, you are fighting an uphill battle. If you control the frame, you win before you speak. The first weapon in your arsenal is called the tactical blank. It is designed to destroy intellectual intimidation instantly. Here is the scenario. The enemy asks a trap question. They use complicated jargon to confuse you. They want you to stumble. They want you to stutter and apologize to the group. Most people panic here. They start talking fast to prove they belong. You will do nothing. Maintain absolute eye contact. Let your face go completely blank. Do not nod, do not frown, do not smile. Just pause for 4 seconds. Count them in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. This silence is agonizing for them. It feels like an eternity. They expected a reaction. They expected you to defend yourself. Instead, they get nothing. They get a void. The cost to them is immediate panic. They wonder if their attack failed. They wonder if you are judging them. They wonder if they said something wrong. They will break the silence first. They will start explaining themselves. They will walk back their aggression. They will fill the void with the very leverage you need. Once they break, simply say the exit line. I'm listening. That is it. You do not validate them. You do not agree with them. You just acknowledge that they are speaking. You have flipped the dynamic completely. You are no longer the one on trial. They are dancing for your approval. They are sweating while you are resting. You have taken their energy and used it to build your own wall of power. Now we move to the verbal traps. The second weapon is called the simpleton's request. This is your defense against speed. The enemy tries to rush you into a bad agreement. They want a yes before you understand the terms. They use big words to hide small lies. Do not argue the logic or you accept their frame. Instead, you act like the logic is just too fast for you. You slow the car down to 0. Here is the exact line. I might be missing something here. Could you run that by me one more time very simply? You are asking for help. You are playing the slow student. But look at the cost to them. They cannot say no. If they say no, they look like a tyrant, so they have to explain it again. But this time, they cannot use the fancy words. They cannot use the manipulation. They have to strip it down to the bone. When they explain it simply, the weak logic is exposed. You watch them stumble over their own lies. Once they finish, you deliver the exit. Ah, I see. Say nothing else. You do not agree. You just see. The third weapon is the competence withdrawal. This is for the lazy manipulator. They create a mess and want you to clean it. They appeal to your ego. They say only you are smart enough to fix this. It is a trap to steal your time. You must reject the badge of honor. You must become useless to them immediately. Here is the line. I don't think I have enough context to be helpful on this right now. You are not saying you refuse. You are saying you are incapable. The cost to them is massive. They cannot blame you for what you do not understand. They are forced to do the work themselves. They will never ask you again. You pivot by physically checking your phone to break the engagement. You are done. These weapons work in the abstract, but they become lethal when you apply them to specific arenas. We will start with the arena where you lose the most power, the workplace. The office is not a family, it is a battlefield disguised as a collaboration. Every meeting is a series of loyalty tests. The most dangerous moment is when a superior asks for your honest opinion on a risky topic. This is the trap of the open floor. They ask, what do you think about the new strategy? They ask, do you think the timeline is realistic? Your instinct is to be the hero. You want to point out the flaws. You want to show your analytical skills. Stop. You are about to commit career suicide. If you say the timeline is impossible, you are a pessimist. If you say the strategy is weak, you are not a team player. They are not looking for truth. They are looking for confirmation, or they are looking for a scapegoat to blame when it fails. You must never step on that landmine. You must use the technique of deferential confusion. You look at the problem like it is a puzzle you are just on the verge of solving. You look pained by the complexity. Then you use the line, I am still processing all the angles here. I would love to hear your read on it first. This is political judo. You take the weight of the decision and you throw it back at them. You are telling them that their mind is so sharp you need their guidance to form your own thoughts. It is irresistible to a narcissist. They will immediately tell you their opinion. They will say, well, I think we need to push harder. Now you have the cheat code. You know exactly what they want to hear. You can agree with them 5 minutes later, and they will think you are brilliant because you agree with them. While they talk, you execute the pivot. You do not just sit there. You pick up a pen. You take notes. You write down their words like they are scripture. This validates them even more. You have escaped the trap and elevated your status without risking a single chip. But work has rules. The social world does not. The social arena is chaos. In the social arena, the enemy is the passive-aggressive sniper. This is the person who makes a joke at your expense in front of a group. They hide the insult in humor. If you get angry, they say you are too sensitive. If you ignore it, they win the status point. It is a win-win for them. You must break this dynamic by destroying the humor. A joke requires shared understanding to work. It relies on the group instantly getting the hidden meaning. You will play the role of the literal fool. You will refuse to understand the hidden meaning. When they make the snarky comment, you stop everything. You look genuinely confused. You look innocent. Then you ask the question, I don't get it. Can you explain why that is funny? You ask it with zero sarcasm. You ask it like a child asking why the sky is blue. The room goes silent. The sniper is now in a panic. They have to explain the insult. They have to say, well, I meant that your shirt looks cheap. The moment they explain it, the joke dies. The malice is exposed. They look like a bully. You look like the victim. The group turns on them. If you explain, you re-enter the court. Never explain why you are asking. Just wait. Let the silence hang there. Let them stutter. Let them dig their own grave. Once they awkwardly stumble through an explanation, you deliver the final blow. You just say, oh, and you turn away. You do not laugh. You do not get angry. You just dismiss them as unfunny. You have stripped them of their social weapon. They will be terrified to attack you again because they know you will not play by the rules of their game. They want a reaction. You gave them an autopsy. This works perfectly with strangers, but what about the people closest to you? The stakes are higher with family. The emotional traps are deeper. You need a different shield for the home front. The close circle is the most dangerous arena because your guard is down. These are the people who know your buttons because they installed them. You come home tired. Your partner or family member picks a fight over something small. The dishes, the tone of your voice. It is not about the dishes, it is about emotional discharge. They want a reaction. They want you to participate in their chaos. If you argue back, you validate the chaos. You escalate the fight. You lose your peace. You must refuse the invitation to the fight without being cold. You must use the technique of the benevolent pause. You blame your own state, not theirs. You act like you are just too drained to process their important words. Here is the move. They start yelling or nagging. You do not yell back. You do not defend yourself. You soften your body language. You look tired but kind. You say the line, "I am feeling a bit slow today. Can we pause this so I can actually understand you later?" Look at the genius of this sentence. You are not saying they are wrong. You are saying they are too important to be misunderstood. You are framing the delay as a sign of respect. You are saying, "I want to hear you, but I am not capable right now." They cannot argue with your internal state. They cannot say, "No, you are not feeling slow." You have disarmed the bomb. The cost to them is the loss of the immediate dopamine hit of the fight. They wanted a screaming match. You gave them a rain check. They have to save their anger for later. But anger has a shelf life. By the time later comes, the anger has evaporated. The emotion is gone. You pivot by leaving the room. You go to the bedroom. You go for a walk. You physically remove yourself from the energy. You have protected your peace. You have protected the relationship. But be warned, when you start using these moves, people will change. They will try to pull you back into the old dynamic. They will escalate. You need a protocol for when the simple moves fail. When you stop playing the pawn, the other players will panic. They are used to your reactions. When you stop reacting, they will try to force a reaction. They will escalate. You must be ready for the 3 standard counter moves. First is the mock. They will say, "Are you stupid?" Or they will say, "Why are you acting so weird?" They are trying to shame you into dropping the mask. Do not take the bait. Stay in character. If they ask if you are stupid, just shrug and say, "Maybe I am today." Second is the bypass. They will ignore you. They will bypass you in emails. They will stop inviting you to meetings because they think you are useless. Good. Let them. This gives you more time to build your own power base in the shadows. Third is the call-out. A smart enemy will sense the trap. They will say, "Stop playing games, I know what you are doing. This is the danger zone. If you admit it, you lose. You must commit to the bit." You need a protocol that never changes. It is called the fog defense. Imagine throwing a rock into a fog bank. The rock hits nothing. It makes no sound. It disappears. You are the fog. No matter how hard they throw the rock, you offer no resistance. If they scream, you whisper. If they accuse, you agree with the possibility. The protocol line is simple. "Maybe I am missing it. Help me out." You repeat this once, only once. If they continue to attack you, do not fight back. You execute the exit. Escalation proves it worked. Run the protocol. You are not trying to win the argument. You are trying to survive the interaction with your power intact. The goal is not to defeat them in that moment. The goal is to train them that attacking you yields no reward. It is behavior modification. Like training a dog. If barking gets no attention, the dog eventually stops barking. You are retraining your world to treat you with caution. You are retraining them to explain things fully. You are retraining them to fear your silence. I promised you the ultimate weapon, the void silence. Here is the reveal. Maintain absolute eye contact, let your face go blank, and pause for exactly 4 seconds. It forces them to fill the silence with the truth. They cannot handle the vacuum, but you cannot use this weapon if you are addicted to noise. You need to detox your need for approval. I am giving you a 7-day challenge. For the next 7 days, you are forbidden from offering an answer, a solution, or a correction, unless you are explicitly asked 3 times. 3 times. If they ask once, you stay silent. If they ask twice, you look confused. If they ask 3 times, then you answer. Count the times you feel the urge to speak. Journal every time you wanted to look smart. Write down what happened when you swallowed that urge. You will see a massive shift. People will start looking at you differently. Confusion will turn into respect. Distance will turn into power. You will stop being the person who does the work and start being the person who directs the game. This is not just a trick. This is a restructuring of your reality. You are deleting the programming that made you a servant and installing the code that makes you a king. Next, you'll learn the follow-up move and the prevention system. But you have to take the first step. You have to be willing to kill your ego to save your life. Most people will click off this video and go back to being smart. They will go back to arguing in comments and fighting for scraps of validation. Do not be most people. If you are ready to stop being a pawn and start controlling the board, subscribe to Silicit. We are building the 1%. We are building the silent empire. Welcome to the reality.